Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty's Club. Guys, I'm kind of do a kind of a combo episode today or tonight. um so you guys know, right now the Stanford UCLA game's going on. Stanford should win by or should score at least 31 points, so just got a defensive touchdown, so pick six. Um anyway, to the Pokemon standpoint, people have asked, kind of been asking questions about some of the decks that I use. Um, I've had like numerous people online and in YouTube comments ask me, why would you run this deck? And the deck we're talking about is Stoutland, Vileplume, Dusknoir, Selgor, Shaman Mew with Cradily. And the whole purpose behind the deck is to set up turn 2, turn 3, depending on what you can, what you can get, because you're not gonna technically get all the energy you need to set up everything. It's not gonna happen. Um, but you can technically set this up in turn 2, given the right amount of item support. Um, Basically, you would have Force of Giant Plants. You would have Lily, and you could discard either Professor Sycamore, Ultra Ball, Battle Compressor, whatnot. And then discard it, get the fossil in your hand, use the ability to go back on the bottom of your deck, take it, put it, evolve into Cradily, touch grass energy or something, because you don't want to touch the double on that turn, otherwise, kind of do anything for yourself. But anyway, this is about the only deck that I've ever run 2 stadiums in, Force of Giant Plants and Skyfield. And the reason why is because you want to set up Cradily as fast as possible, and or Selgor repeatedly in some situations. In some situations, you want Skyfield. I haven't worked out all the bugs, but I'm leaning towards just removing Force of Giant Plants and going straight Skyfield. And there's a lot of people supporting this. Now there's someone says, why would you run Cradily? Just run it straight up, but that's way too bulky. So yeah, that's a really good deck idea. It's my pick for like a rogue extended deck. Yeah. Once it sets up, there's only like 3 Pokemon in format who can beat it, and if I pull up Keldeo, guess what? You ain't getting out of that one. Because, once I get Keldeo paralyzed in that active spot, and you start to, rush in, retreat, all I need to do is play my Lysander, pull up the Keldeo, and it stays in paralysis the whole game. No supporters, no trainers, no attack, nothing. So there is ways around these, counters, so-called, for this deck, but definitely the deck, if it sets up, has a chance in the metagame. And then someone asked me to analyze the top 2 decks in the metagame and make suggestions on what to run based off the metagame. As far as I can see, Archie's Blastoise and Yveltal Darkrai seem to be the top front runners for the extended format. Those of you who don't know, Archie's Blastoise combines the Blastoise with no Wartortle or Squirtle, going straight from Archie's Ace in the Hole and having that 1 card in your hand, playing it, pull Blastoise out of this card pile, put it on your bench, draw 5 cards, and have Keldeo EX with Float Stone, Articuno, the full art one with Muscle Band, stuff like that. And a couple other techs that are also water type, for specific matchups, like the Dark Explorer's Kyogre for the Night March matchup, etc., etc. But basically, from what I could understand from this deck, its main goal is to set up turn 1, get all these energy out, try to basically stormroll you on turn 1, the second player to go, or turn 2, first player to go, whatever, float your boat. And then also relying on Articuno in some situations when you can get knockouts on non-EX Pokemon. And usually against things like Night March, Donphan, stuff like that, you might be able to. And I see some players run Victini, some don't. I guess whatever works for them. And the other deck is Yveltal Darkrai. And everybody knows what Yveltal does probably. It's Y-Psych, or Y-Ball attack. Does 20 damage plus 20 for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. Yveltal's got to have 2, so that's a base 60 right there. And then Muscle Band, you're probably going to have on it 80 damage plus whatever the defending Pokemon has. So it's a great attack, and things like Dark Patch from Dark Explorers brings darkness energy onto a Pokemon on your bench. Darkrai, of course, can give you free retreat, so you can pretty much just get out of situations with things like AZ or AZ, whatever you want to call it. And even some players like prefer Cassius. Like, I know some players that prefer to shuffle the regular Yveltal back in between, like in the middle of a game, because they won't need it anymore, and it becomes an Archie's Blast with Articuno bait, and it just, you know, can get picked off like that. So, whatever. Anyway, these are 2 really good decks. I will give these players great respect for making these, but in order for a deck to work in a metagame, it must have good matchups against the top tier decks, like Archie's Blastoise and Yveltal Darkrai, the 2 most popular decks in the extended format. Now, what you have to do is figure out what concept could possibly be best against both of these, since they're the only 2 front runners, it seems like. There's a few players that prefer Vileplume, you know, in with like either Miltank or Regice or some of the other weird Pokemon. So what I decided to do was try to analyze just 2 decks. If I can take these 2 decks and have good to excellent matchups against the rest of the decks in format, then I'll be home free. The first one I came up with, at the top of my head, pretty much can destroy both of these decks in a heartbeat. And it's the Sceptile, the new Ancient Origins Mega Sceptile and Sceptile, but you'd only use the Mega whenever you needed to, you know, run a consistent stream of heal. If the opponent had set up the turn before, you set up your next Pokemon, which I'm going to say is Ariados and Vileplume. Basically, Ariados poisons both active Pokemon except grass Pokemon. Sceptile's second attack for 2 energy says if the defending Pokemon's poisoned, it is either 70 plus 60 or 60 plus 70. With a Muscle Band, that is 150 damage right there. And not to mention, Ariados also lets in poison. And so if Yveltal don't get out of that, guess what? They're knocked out going into the next turn. Same thing with Keldeo, even though most players aren't going to live to see it against Sceptile, because Sceptile's going to one-hit shot Keldeos like that. So Yveltal really can't really do anything. It just has to, you know, sit back and watch. And even so, you could also use Sceptile's first attack before you, and then Ariados then uses first attack to try to paralyze him, and then try to stall him up in the active spot, and then the next turn go in and hit for 150, try to get the knockout like that. That's also another really good idea. This deck has much potential. Now, the only problem is I haven't worked out the bugs on the right trainer line. Now, so far, I've came up with a 1/4 Sceptile EX, 3/3 Ariados, 3/3 Vileplume. In the Shaman Keldeo, I have no idea what it's going to be. I'll probably have to skim the line down on a Ariados, or even the one Vileplume away. Most people are trying to run 2/2/2 Vileplume, but that is so inconsistent. Like, you don't want to overflood your deck with items, so you're almost never going to draw into all the cards you need if you run a 2/2/2 line. Doesn't make any sense to me. Of course. And people are like, oh, stupid, it'll never work. Really? Why didn't more Vileplume decks make it into top 8s of Arizona and Houston? question that. um, anyway, I think this concept is brilliant. It definitely has amazing matchups against both decks and has just a extremely well shot against beating the rest of the metagame. If you have to, you can run a Virizion because, you know, if you fall victim to a bunch of lasers, but if you go up against Seismitoad, you don't gotta worry. Because if you can get 1 or 2 energy up on Giratina, because you never run double colorless or herbal energy. Who would run herbal energy? I mean, 30 damage isn't worth getting, you know, enhanced hammered or, you know, crap like that. It's just not worth it. So I just decided to go straight up with Pokemon Center Lady. I'll probably have 1, maybe 2, I don't know. But anyway, Skeptali X, Ariados, Vileplume, brilliant idea to go against both of these decks. The next one I want to talk about is the Fairy Carry deck. Basically, Mega Gardevoir, Aromatisse, and the regular Cernius. You would run 4 Cernius, a 3-3, a 2-3, either one of those Aromatisse line, and then either a 4-4 or a 3-4 Mega Gardevoir line. Now, most people say that might be too many Pokemon, but listen up. In a Fairy deck, consistency is your best bet because I have won 41 straight matches on the Pokemon TCGO in the standard set with a Fairy deck. So, and it's the exact same Pokemon line, and then in Extended I've had to tweak, you know, the tech Pokemon. Sometimes I'd want to put in a Cernius EX to deal with the upfront Regice against Regice Vileplume, or I would, because, you know, you're going to be sniping 30, or you up the Lysander count to try to drag specific Pokemon up. So it really depends on your preferences and your metagame and what you expect to struggle against. Of course, there's really no need for like Slurpuff, either one of them, the draw or the prevent special conditions, either one. There's really no need for Florges or anything with that matter. Maybe a Mr. Mime when it comes out in the breakthrough set for standard, or the Mr. Mime from the plasmas when it in extended, either one. But anyway, Fairy is a really good deck, and may I mention that my deck has 3 enhanced hammers. My Fairy, you guys seen it, the one before. 3 enhanced hammers, and that's in both decks. I like to run enhanced hammer when I'm not running trainer lock because I know my opponents are gonna try to get out the special energy to give themselves a shot. Double colorless is the most popular energy in the game by far, and taking that away as many times as possible can really stumble your opponent. Trust me, enhanced hammer in a non-trainer lock deck is definitely a plus. It's much better than Headringer. I promise you it is. Because there's not too much chance for one to bring it back. If you did, it'd be in the form of like Bunnelby, and who the heck wants to run Bunnelby? That's just like a free prize, or asking to, you know, for a free turn and then go for Lysander and then pick off one of your opponent's Pokemon and just knock it out and make a Gardevoir for like 200-300 damage. But yeah, those of you who don't know, Mega Gardevoir can hit for, you know, 200 to 300 damage on a consistent basis, because it is 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon, or times the number of Fairy energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So yeah. But anyway, those are my 2 decks. Skeptali is probably the front runner because it's so low maintenance and it's cost efficient. Not cost efficient as in money, cost efficient as in deck space. And ability to, you know, get it out pretty fast. Is if you buff up the lines of Ariados and Vileplume enough, you should be able to get one of each out every single game, and then try to use maybe either Hoopa or maybe you might pull in Hoopa. I don't know. Shaman's really good, but I definitely would look into Fan Club or Trevor, or even this new new weird supporter coming out to get 1 EX or 3 regular basics. I forget. But anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to tell you. I crammed what I promised into one episode. 2 videos, 1 episode. Oh, and did I mention that Stanford should score at least 31 points tonight against UCLA? If they do, yep. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Post any comments you have in the comment section down below. If they're approved, I'll post them. If you have anything unrelated to the video, just shoot me an email at shifty14326@gmail.com. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you had as much fun as I've had. I'll see you guys next time at Shifty's Club.